All right, beautiful people. In today's episode, we are going to be exploring some different ways that you can get out on the water if you decide to come to Whidbey Island. Now, these videos are kind of geared towards people who are visiting the island, who maybe like kayaking, but don't necessarily know how to get out on the water on the island. And so we're going to explore some different launch sites, and we're going to look at them from a couple of different standpoints, viewpoints, aspects, that type of deal. So in any case, this first one, we are going to be visiting Possession Point Park, which is on the south end of Whidbey Island, pretty close to the Clinton Ferry dock. All right, you guys, I will see you at the end of the video. Now for a word from today's video sponsor. Let's say I wanted to give someone directions to this door in the middle of nowhere. With what three words, I would give them the words whipped coconuts struggle, and they would end up right here. Have you ever been driving along, following directions from Google Maps, and you end up like out in the middle of nowhere? This happens especially in rural neighborhoods. A friend of mine, I haven't ever, this was the first time I'd ever gone to her house, and she gave me her address. I plugged it into Google Maps, asked for directions, and basically ended up wandering up and down this weird country road for what felt like forever. And it turned out that her house was back in the woods, and while her house was close to that road, her driveway actually came off of another road completely. And therein lies the problem with trying to use Google Maps to find something. Now, there's an app that solves that problem, and that app is What Three Words. Now, What Three Words is not actually sponsoring this video, but they should be. And if you know anyone who works for What Three Words, you let them know that they should be sponsoring my videos, because I'm giving them a plug. So in any case, What Three Words gives you directions to a 1 meter by 1 meter square on the surface of the earth. And that meter by meter square could be anywhere. So, check out What Three Words, see if it helps. I know that I find it helpful, and we're actually going to use it in this video to give you directions to Possession Point State Park. All right, you guys, I hope you're enjoying the video. Back to Other Me. The What Three Words for today's episode are lifestyles, tolerance, swooning. If you put those three words into What Three Words, you will end up at Possession Point State Park. Possession Point State Park is located on the southern tip of Whidbey Island. So this is our first location, and here you guys can see the parking lot where you can park. The lot is pretty big, and there are long slots for cars to park in, and there are a lot of them. So this is our first location, and here you guys can see the parking lot where you can park. The lot is pretty big, and there are long slots for cars to park in, and there are a lot of them. Now, in terms of amenities, there's water for cleaning off your boats, picnic benches with barbecue grills that you can use when you're visiting the park, a bathroom facility, and one of Whidbey Island's notorious payphones. There's also a boat ramp and dock, which is really helpful when you're trying to get your kayak into the water. On a clear day like today, there are views of Mount Baker As per usual on Whidbey Island, there are plenty of birds to see, as well as other wonderful wildlife. There is a generous loading and unloading area where you can mount your kayaks on your vehicle and get everything all tied down safely. So, ease of getting out on the water. At this spot, it is definitely easy to get out on the water. But again, like I hopefully said at low tide when I was here, this is more open than a lot of the other places. So, you know, I mean, it's not even a windy day, and there's plenty of wave action. Alright, so here you can see just how rough this water can be. I mean, again, it's not a very windy day, and it's pretty choppy through here. Now that's because it's pretty open, and I'm okay with it, but I think someone at a lower skill level might struggle with this. And really, there isn't much in the way of protection. If you're new to the channel and you haven't seen me do a launch site review before, I grade things on a 4-point scale, where 4 means that it's excellent, and basically anything lower than 2 means it's less than desirable. 0 means it's non-existent. So I have 8 different categories, and those categories are parking, launching, reliability, views, tide dependence, amenities, location, and an overall satisfaction score, for a total of 32 points for each of these launch sites that I'm going to review. Here are my ratings for Possession Point. So first up we have parking, and Possession Point gets a 3 out of 4 points for parking. It has 2 rather large parking lots, but the parking lots are a long walk from the beach itself. Next up we have launching, and that means, you know, your ability to get your boat in and out of the water. And Possession Point here again gets a 3 out of 4 points. The 10-minute parking spot for loading and unloading your vehicles is really great. The dock and the launch ramp are also really convenient ways to get your boat down into the water. The one issue is you are going to be competing with people dropping motorboats and stuff like that because they can use the boat ramp. And so you might find yourself dodging trucks and trailers. So it gets a 3 out of 4 points. Now, in terms of reliability, Possession Point is open water. And, you know, the wind picks up down there, it's a long straight shot, and so you can get really choppy water in a hurry there. If you go down around the southern point, you're kind of protected from that and it smooths out. But the reality is that, you know, more often than not, you're going to get down there and the waves are going to be relatively big and the wind is going to be relatively high. So you might want to avoid Possession Point if you are a new paddler or if you're bringing people along who are newer, and Possession Point gets a 2 out of 4 points for reliability. The views at Possession Point They're fairly good. They're standard for Whidbey Island. You've got really nice bluffs. You might be able to see Mount Baker to the north. You may be able to see Mount Rainier to the south. If you go around the southern tip, around that bend there, you might be able to see the Cascades. Now, all of that depends on the weather, and all of that depends on how hazy it is. So Possession Point gets a 3 out of 4 points for the views. Tide dependence is really not a factor at Possession Point. Because of the boat ramp, it's fairly easy to get your boat into the water even at a low tide. High tide is also really great because you've got the boat launch. Now again, you are going to be contending with people launching boats using vehicles, so motorboats, stuff like that, larger fishing boats. But again, tide does not play a factor in going kayaking at Possession Point, so tide dependence gets a 4 out of 4 points. The amenities at Possession Point are on point. You have the picnic benches, you have the barbecue grills, you have a really nice beach. It's a little bit pebbly, but it's nice. You've got bathrooms, you've got a hose for cleaning off your boat, you've got the parking area, you've got a 10-minute parking zone for getting your boat on and off of your vehicle. Realistically, you don't find amenities that are much better at most launching sites. So Possession Point for amenities gets a 4 out of 4 points. Location is a place where Possession Point kind of falls down a little bit. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. There is a corner gas station supermarket that's about 5 minutes away by car, according to Google Maps. The drive feels longer than that. And it's about a 15-20 minute drive from any of the other major places on the island. So you're going to leave the highway and you're going to drive quite a ways to get out there. Other people that I've spoken to have said that the drive out to Possession Point is on the downside. You know, I mean, that's one of the downsides of Possession Point. So for location, Possession Point gets a 1 out of 4 points. Now, my overall satisfaction score with Possession Point is a 3 out of 4 points. And that's because I've been there a couple times and I've enjoyed it. I'm a more confident paddler. I don't mind bumpy water. I don't mind waves. Sometimes I even go out seeking them. But again, if you're bringing somebody new out there, they might have a bad time. The views aren't going to be consistent. And really, it is out in the middle of nowhere. So it gets a 3 out of 4 points for the overall satisfaction score, which brings the overall score for Possession Point to 23 out of 32 points. Not bad, but again, there are some parts to Possession Point that leave a little bit to be desired. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you find the information useful. If you do, go ahead and subscribe, or at least subscribe for this playlist. That way, if you come to the island, you know how to get out there on the water, and you know what to expect when you get out there. All right, you guys, see you out there, and I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day.